The sky is filled with the orange and red hues of dusk. There is a smoldering wildfire in the distance. In the beginning, there was only rawness, the raw earth, the raw sky, and the raw life that teemed between them. Our ancestors knew only the uncooked gifts of the land, but one day, everything changed. It began with fire. A group of early humans cautiously approached the remnants of a recent wildfire. They moved slowly, wary but curious. The fire had come unbidden, wild and fierce, born from a storm that had rent the sky with its lightning. The flames had devoured everything in their path, leaving behind a landscape both familiar and strange. Drawn by the scent of smoke and the promise of food, our ancestors approached this new, altered world. They cautiously scavenged the area, just like many animals still do today, hoping to find some food without the effort. In the ash and soot, they found a feast unlike any they had known, plants that had softened, animals whose flesh had changed. Tentatively, they tasted the charred offerings, and in that moment, the first seed of discovery was planted. The taste was new, the texture different, and yet, it was good. They would soon realize that the charred food was easier to chew and more flavorful. They continued to eat, intrigued and satisfied. The food was easier to chew, softer and more yielding. It warmed their bellies, filled them with a strength they had not felt before. The fire had done something miraculous, transformed their sustenance into something more. The raw had become cooked, and with it, the potential for change was born. As the fire's warmth embraced them, a new thought emerged. What if they could harness this power, control it? What if they could make fire serve them, not just for scavenging, but for survival? The spark of curiosity was ignited, and with it, the dawn of a new era. They began experimenting with fire, tried placing more food near the embers, watching as it cooked. They experimented further, placing roots and meats closer to the flames, watching as the heat transformed them. Each attempt brought new revelations. Some food became tastier, others more nourishing. They learned by trial and error, driven by a blend of necessity and newfound wonder. That was not the only realization, of course. They started to realize the benefits beyond cooking: warmth, protection, light. With time, they learned to tame the fire, to keep it alive. It became more than a tool for cooking. It became their protector against the night's dangers, a source of warmth in the cold, a beacon in the darkness. Fire was no longer a threat, but an ally, a force they could wield. The mastery of fire opened new doors. It allowed them to craft tools, to move into new territories, to survive in places where raw food alone could not sustain them. The cooked food provided more energy, fueling their bodies and their minds, leading to changes in their very anatomy: smaller jaws, bigger brains, and the capacity for greater thought. Cooking brought them together, forged bonds that would become the foundation of society. Around the fire, they shared not just food, but stories, knowledge, and the beginnings of culture. Fire, once a wild force of nature, had become the heart of their communities, the hearth around which life revolved. And so, from the ashes of that first wildfire, the human story was forever changed. Fire gave us the gift of cooking, and with it, the power to shape our destiny. In every meal we share, in every fire we light, we carry forward the legacy of those first pioneers who dared to taste the flame's offering. They transformed their world, and in doing so, they transformed us all. The next time you cook, remember two things. First, imagine the excitement and joy of eating cooked meat and vegetables for the first time, having discovered a new way of life. Second, each time you cook anything, think about the fact that how you are actually continuing a tradition that is so ancient and fundamental, older than any fancy cuisine. Thank you for making it until the end. If you enjoyed this short journey, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. See you on the next one.